If you're an agency owner looking for a different model to scale your business, and you have tried maybe selling courses, selling some coaching, and actually things haven't really worked out for you, well, what I'm going to share with you is a complete different approach on how to build an agency nowadays in 2025 and moving ahead. This is exactly the same process that I went through, as I spent 4 years even burning out along the way to build a video agency all the way to six figures. And basically, I look into completely different models, and I think that my advantage was that I wasn't coming from the agency world, and that I wasn't more or less a creative, but it was, I saw an opportunity in the market. I had certain skills, I had a crew, and I saw potential to putting something together and going out there. And because of that, it allowed me to do things that other people normally don't venture in. And therefore, I managed to stumble upon a model that allowed me to scale. So basically, if right now you're running an agency, you have been there for a couple of years, you have enough word of mouth, the way the classic agency model works is that we are hoping that a client reaches out. Maybe you're more active, or maybe you have a solid foundation in terms of a network. And so people reach out to you. A lead is going to come in with a problem, and now you're going to take a step back using your expertise, trying to figure out how can you actually tackle that problem. So you're going to look into different options, and you're going to brainstorm a solution. From there, you spend hours making together a proposal and sort of guesstimating how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take. You hope that these things will work out, and you send it over. Now, they say yes, you go ahead and start doing a lot of research, hoping that this thing will actually work out. You're not really sure. You haven't actually done this before for this type of client or this type of project. Maybe there's a little different thing that you don't know about. And so this is very stressful. And what happens is that it's actually very time consuming, because you are constantly thinking about it. You don't have the processes, and that takes time. You have some freelancers that you normally reach out to, but you know they're expensive. And unfortunately, you also have to check their work just to make sure that the quality of the stuff they're doing is up to your standards, because at the end of the day, it's your client. You gave them your word, and you're the one that is the face of your business. So as you start working more and more, you start collaborating with the client, and now they better understand their situation. They better understand what it is that they're trying to build. And now we have scope creep. That is when clients start changing their work and exactly what they want. And this is when we start having also fire drills. That is when it's Friday afternoon, the client just realizes that they need this one thing, and they send you this message that actually this stuff is something they needed yesterday, but can you do it right now? It's just going to take a little bit of time. This happens all the time, especially when clients are not aware. They think they need something very small, and they're just looking for an expert to implement on their vision. And then they start learning that actually there is a whole thing behind what they think they need that needs to be done. And finally, you go ahead and you deliver the project. And the best of all, now we got to chase payment. This was the process that I went through over and over and over, as every project starts from scratch, because every project is different. I went through this as I was building my video agency, and I look into, okay, how about if I become that big fish that I charge a lot of money for projects, and that way I will have the cash I need to invest in a time and in a team and so on. Well, what happened was that making and going after bigger projects, what it required me was to be even more involved. And that meant more customization, more involvement from my side, which meant even less capacity to sell, to run a business, less free time for me. Then I went ahead and tried to scale by packaging my expertise into courses that I could also sell to different customers. I even joined a coaching program to help me figure out my systems and scale. And then what happened is that I put together a coaching program, a course, more or less, where none of my clients wanted to buy. Because when you're running an agency and you're delivering a done for you service to bigger companies, what happens is that they don't want to learn how to do what you do. They have the money, they want to spend the money on somebody who's going to solve it for them and who can guarantee them this. And so that process didn't also work for me. I tried coaching, I tried also going ahead and pivoting. I thought that the problem was that in the service space that things depend on me, and the only way that I could scale was by just ditching the whole agency model completely. And I went into e-commerce and spent 6 months there just because I felt that I didn't need to deliver a service and therefore it was more scalable. In the end, the grass is always greener on the other side, but by stumbling and approaching things in a different way, I completely turned things around. And that was because after burning out, I promised to myself that I was going to say no to everything that wasn't our competitive advantage, anything that was not aligned with the main reason why I had started my video agency, which was live video. And that meant that as I transitioned, the business that I developed looked very, very different. And this is what I call the simplified agency. And in this case, now we strategically target our ideal customer profiles. We know who our customer is. So this is not even niching down, it's actually specializing on solving a particular problem for an ideal target customer. Most of the problems that I see with agency owners and people who are building services is that they start from their skills and it's like, okay, how can I use my skills to solve somebody's problem? And then who's out there willing to pay me for it? And here, what we had to do was really shift the script and more like, instead of starting from us and our skills, more like, who is a customer out there that I would love to help? What is a problem they need that then I can solve using my skills? And they are in a position where they can actually pay to have that problem solved. We want to make sure to sell a done for you service because it is easier to sell. And we also want to make sure that it's project based because it is also easier to sell. And that way we're able to capture more money, get over the customer acquisition cost, and be ready to go. So in this case, now we know who we're targeting, and therefore every lead is exactly the same as the old one. We just have to jump on a call. We see if they're an actual fit. If they are, we pretty much soft close them already in the call. We put together a 5 minute proposal, which is basically adapting what we have in the system to their information. We send it over, collect payment, and now our team goes ahead and fulfills that project, and we're able then to have a more strategic overview over the business. We work together with our project manager to make sure that everything is flowing, that clients are not getting stuck, but that they're being delighted with their services, so that then they can keep coming back over and over and over. And that experience is exactly the same as the last one. So basically, we deliver a remarkable experience at scale, while each customer actually feels like they are our only customer. And because that experience is replicable, then they feel comfortable enough to start referring us to people in their network because they also know how that experience is going to look like. This right here was a model that allowed me not only to close 30K months and deliver them, but me taking back control of my time and spending about 2 hours a week working, meeting with my project manager just to make sure that our production process was flowing and everything was okay, and supporting them where they needed to fill in some gaps. And then the project manager working directly with the customer and the team to make sure that everything was delivered on time. What was my role? My role was getting the client and making sure that I get more clients into the system that allows them to be fulfilled. I basically went from selling my time to earning based on the systems that I develop. And so I no longer traded time for money. My income was depending on how efficient my system was and how many people I could drive through it. Now, obviously, this is not for everybody. The more I talk to agency owners, I understand that there's a group out there that are more on the creative side, and they they are trying to build a business, but they don't want to actually build an asset. More than anything, they're trying to build a job for themselves, and that's fine. They get to do the thing they love. They have their limited capacity. They have their place in order to do what they want, and that's fine. I work with people who want to build a business, who want to build an asset, who don't want to have their income limited by their time, and who want to actually create systems that deliver value for others at scale so that they're not limited. So, what that means is that first, if you don't sell a business to business done for you service, this is not for you. I don't know that much about e-commerce. I don't know about SaaS. This has nothing to do with this. This is for agencies who are selling services to other companies. If you're tired of your business and you want to pivot, this will not work for you. You need to have already a certain level of expertise. And that's why for us, we work with people who have been in business for at least 2 years or have delivered already more than 15 to 20 projects where they're more or less in the same area. What we do is that we help you sort through all that experience so that you can develop that signature offer that would allow you to scale. Meaning, yeah, if you have less than 2 years in business. If your company revenue is less than 7K a month, that means you're not charging enough and you're still quite not there. So if you're selling services, you have some packages, you want to increase those prices so that when you sell at least 2 projects a month, which should be more or less your capacity right now, 2 to 3. If you're not under 7K with 2 to 3 clients a month, you're charging too little. Well, if you're not bothered that everything starts from scratch, this will not work for you. If your self-worth is still attached to the business, if you feel that you're defined by the services and the clients that you work with, if you want to go and submit projects for Cannes Festival because you're doing video, or if you want some digital marketing awards for your campaign, that's fine. And we're delivering a premium service. But the idea is that in order to scale, we need to simplify our business and we want to have a signature offer that we sell over and over and over. And definitely, if you don't want to have a team, if you want to do everything yourself, that is going to be really, really challenging if you want to scale your agency to 30K months and beyond. And so basically, that's not for you if that's the case. But if you're looking and you saw that model and how it works, well, this is exactly what this channel is all about. And this is what I focus on through our program, the Simplify Agency Accelerator. And so basically, there are 4 mechanisms that we need to install in our business to solve the core 4 problems. And the first problem that we need to solve is that we're selling everything to everybody. And even if you have niche down, if the problem you solve for every customer is different than the last one, it's going to be really hard to scale your business. Especially if you're by yourself, you or another person, if you're a 2 people team, this is really, really hard because there are way too many moving parts. You have way too much complexity. And so the first thing that you have to do is really identify that core problem that you're going to be focusing on, and then productize your expertise and package it into a signature offer. And this is what we call the productized signature offer. A signature offer is basically productized because we are fixed in scope, fixed in price, and it is paid in advance like a product because it is project based. Once you have that, then it's all about selling the signature offer over and over and over. And now we focus on fulfillment. In a service business, it's all about having customers come back and making them continue to buy from you. You want to increase that lifetime value as much as you can. Back in my video agency, each customer bought about 4 projects with us. That was about 2 years or 24,000 euros. Here in Europe, 24,000 euros, you could say it's more or less the same in dollars. Well, that's how much they spent over 2 years. Why they didn't spend more time with us is because after 2 years, our contact was getting burned out, and then they would quit their job and somebody else would come in and they would have their own team per se. And so, or by that time, the client felt like they could go ahead and buy from another provider. And so it just really depends on where you position yourself. And that's why for us, one of the key elements that we encourage people is identify, do your customers see you as an investment or do they see you as an expense? If you put yourself within the business model, yeah, that's great because they gotta keep buying from you. But eventually, when somebody new comes in, they're gonna look for ways to cut costs because they don't have that relationship with you. Just the same way you wanna evaluate if you need the YouTube subscription or if you need that Spotify subscription, if you need the Netflix subscription, somebody else will do that with your business. And so in the customer delight, we want to ensure that we provide a remarkable experience to our customers. Agencies more or less are expected to deliver some results, but it is the experience that keeps people coming back. They will take a guess, they will try you out the first time, they will come back if they're happy with the experience, if they're happy with the results. If that experience is the same as the one before, then they will continue to come back until that experience is no longer the same. That's why the experience is key and is king when it comes to scaling your agency, because that is the thing that will set you apart from everybody else. Once we have a system to delight our customers as we deliver a signature offer, now we want to make sure that in the market, people see us as the go to person, especially our ideal customers. They see you as the ideal solution to their problem. We have a tailored offer, we have a signature offer that is designed for one ideal customer to solve one problem. And we want to make sure that they see us and they know that we have that thing for them. And so we want to create content that speaks to them, but our sales materials also need to be aligned so that they go from selling tailored services that are commoditized and low in value to actually having the solution that they're looking for. More than once, I had clients that either they told me, we know this other company that is bigger than you, but they do too many things. And so we rather go with you because basically you do one thing. And so we expect that this is low risk because that's all you do. And your whole business is designed to solve this problem. But also, more and more clients came to us saying, hey, we want the thing that you did for this other person. And so you want to make sure that all your materials are aligned to showcase your expertise, provide value, and just basically building trust and making them feel safe that you understand them and you have the solution that they need to guarantee the results they're looking for. And lastly, and this is where most agency owners in the beginning, they really struggle. And it's because they're overwhelmed. They're constantly solving a different problem and they get out there looking for help. Their capacity is really small. They don't really understand what it is that they do, but they know that they need some help. And so they feel that they need anybody out there. I'm just going to train them and make them work. That doesn't work for them because that person doesn't know and understand how they can actually support you. We're so eager to get some help that we try to dump everything on them and we call it on the job training, and then we're going to train them as we go. But the reality is that they get frustrated, we start with the wrong foot, we have the wrong expectations, and that relationship is set to fail. And so then we feel like we need experts that are coming with experience and we want to invest the money so that they know how to support us. But the reality is that those guys, they come with their own systems, and when they come into our process, into our business, they will try to replace everything that we have built with how they do it. The key here is having proper systems that allow anybody with the right mindset and the right attitude to perform so that they can deliver the same results that we would. And this is where we come in. We put in our system that we train people on how to deliver, and then little by little, following a process, a communication system with our customers as well, we start to replace ourselves all the way until we're fully out of client fulfillment. We have a key person, a project manager that is managing the projects, and then we are supporting them. And this is how we have our 2-hour fulfillment system. This is the model. This is what you need in order to scale your agency above $30,000 a month while actually taking back control of your time. This is what this channel is all about. This is what I'm talking here. This is what I'm sharing, my lessons and the lessons as we help other customers implement this in their business. If you're interested in knowing more, make sure to like and subscribe so that you get more and more videos as we build our channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell. And if you want to benchmark yourself, if you want to assess where your business, your agency is right now, then you can go ahead and take the scaling score assessment. Just simply click on the link below in the description. Go ahead and benchmark yourself. This is a couple of simple yes and no questions that are going to allow you to evaluate these four areas and give you an overview of where you stand. Thank you so much for making it this far. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of Scale Yard, and I'm excited that you're joining us in this journey as we share more and more of our lessons. And I'm eager to help you go ahead and stop trading time for money. Go ahead and scale your agency and take back control of your time. If you are like me, I'm sure that you started this business because you wanted to earn more while working less. You wanted to use your expertise to make an impact and help others out there with their businesses. And somehow along the way, things got sidetracked. You got stuck. It felt like you actually created was more of a job for yourself and instead of that business that you envisioned. Well, you have come to the right place. This is what this channel is all about. And this is actually all we do with our customers. So happy to connect with you. And I hope to see you in future videos. Cheers.